Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to New Forest Morphs. Jared is joining me today. We've had a good cleaning session, Jared, and we've had a couple of deliveries. And as we said yesterday, we wanted to set up the Viper bedding. Thank you so much for your love and support yesterday. Very much appreciate your comments. Feel free to put any comments on our YouTube channel. But Jared, what have you decided to go for on the size of the box that you're going to be mixing the Viper bedding on? So it's arrived today.
Yeah, so you need an 80 litre minimum.
Right.
So we've just gone for one of these 84 litre rubs.
Yeah.
That you can just mix it up in. Got a lid so you can keep all the dust and everything out, and that will just be our container full of Viper bedding.
And hopefully it will fit under one of our trolleys.
Yeah, it should do.
We'll have to measure to make sure. And then the idea is that when we want to change or spot clean, there's always going to be some available. And what we'll do, Jared, is tomorrow's video, if we get the opportunity, you'll make it up this afternoon.
Yeah.
We'll use it tomorrow, and then we'll explain what we've done to make it up and show you how it all works. And then we'll get our babies on that and see how they do. Now, talking of babies, Jared, how did the feeding session go last night?
Yeah, it was really good actually. They like the little Maltese.
So that was a fantastic move because we had 20 animals that weren't feeding at all, and we've been pulling our hair out with them a bit, haven't we, Jared?
Yeah.
Now, there's something about a Maltese. The fur, the babies have got more fur because they grow slower. There's more protein in them, and there's a different scenting smell. I think when you dip their heads into hot water, Jared, it creates this aroma that's quite powerful. And I think a combination of the fact that they're smaller prey items, so they're less intimidated, the fact that they smell different, and the fact that they're furry, all of those factors. Now, we fed them without putting them on the bedding, but once we put them on the bedding, I think it only improve again, Jared.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we've actually fed without the bedding. We've got, out of the 20, how many of those do you reckon fed, Jared?
Well, 11 of them took by themselves, and the other 9 I assist fed.
So Jared assist fed the other 9, and then we fed the other 11. And the Bongo girls, which I think one of our viewers, which is Callum, has got his eye on one of those girls, if it's a girl. And the good news that she fed by herself, both of them fed, which means that hopefully we'll get that one up to size for you, Callum, by the time you come in Halloween time, which is good. Phone calls keep coming through, and the WhatsApp messages are still coming through on the accounts and tax. I think quite a few friends are getting in touch, and I've got a couple of further meetings tonight to discuss the tax affairs of some of our friends in the community. So keep those calls coming, keep the WhatsApps coming, we appreciate it. It's so anything we can do to help, we're very pleased to help, aren't we, Jared? And I think today what we're going to do is we're going to do a short video. I've got my plumber over at the moment, and he's just popped out to get some parts. We're actually replacing our boiler in the house. It's the penultimate job before we can move back into our home. We've been out of our home for 18 months, and we're looking forward to getting back into our house. So the new boiler, new carpets, a little bit of snagging to do, and then Mad and I and the kids can all move back into the main house, which will be a relief. Basically, it's been a long, drawn-out process, so I'll be happy, and then I can focus on my health and get my hips sorted. Once the house is fixed and I'm fixed, should be looking good going forward, Jared. So we're going to discuss today. We've got 4 or 5 girls, or let's say 4 girls, that we were just trying to work out our pairs. So you sent off the shed tests yesterday, and hopefully we'll get some results back in the next week or 2. But on that, it was Monty, I think it was Monty that we sent his shed off.
Yep.
If he proves to be gravel, he is a potential gravel clown with pastel and lesser. He's going to go to Bella. Now Bella's shed out, Jared. You can have a quick look at her now. I've shed. She's got a funky pattern. Is she beautiful, Jared? And we checked her follicles, and they're 12 mil. And she's 17 or 1816, remember, the overture. So she's 1816 grams, and she's got 12 mil follicles. So as soon as we get the test result back from Monty, if he proves to be gravel, we'll be pairing those up on a stormy night. And we can't wait, because then Jared will be so excited to hit his highway clowns with all the extra codoms in there as well. And
there'll be possible het pied.
Plus, we've also got Orange Dream and Leopard
and Yellow Belly.
All going. Well, Yellow Belly
is part of it, yeah.
But Orange Dream and Leopard will be in there as well.
So we have pastel, lesser, gravel, Yellow Belly, Orange Dream, Leopard, clowns, possible het pied.
And she's pastel as well, isn't she?
No.
She's not pastel?
She's not pastel. That's the difference between her and Bellissima.
So that's cool. So that's an exciting project. So we then had a look at Mango, who lives next door. Let's get her out and see how she's looking, Jared.
She's about to go into shed, but she's a...
Yeah, her follicles were 10 mil. She gave us 8 on her, which is great. Now we're scratching our heads as to what we're going to put to her. She's a very reliable girl, very reliable clown, but we want to build what I call the bridges to the double visuals. So we've got quite a few.
Visual.
What we've got is we've got quite a few double visuals, but to get from double to triple, you have to build a bridge, and that bridge is creating the triple hets. So the triple hets that we're thinking with Mango is you're thinking of either Thor, who is the Exantic pied boy. And what would that give us, Jared, as a possibility? If they locked, what would we get for that?
Pastel lesser triple het VPI Exantic pied clown.
Yeah. So what we did is before we made the decision, we were trying to work out whether Colt or Thor should be the possible options there. Now Colt, if you have a quick look at him, Jared is in there. He's just shut out. He's the ultra male pied. So if we were to use him, we could end up with ultra male triple het clown ultra male pieds, which is what we do want to achieve eventually. But we thought maybe we'll use Colt for another girl and actually use Thor for Mango. So what we want to do is we looked on Morph Market. If you can't get a triple het in the UK.
Not on Morph
Market. There'll be other people that are probably breeding on the invisible market. Now, people don't realise that there is an invisible market out there which you can't see, and that's basically within your communities. So if you're working a Patreon account, people might be buying directly from you and never gets to Morph Market, or you might have a group of friends, or you might have a Facebook group, you might have a WhatsApp group where people are trading, and it's the invisible market where trades occur outside of the Morph Market. And of course some people sell through other means as well, so they might go to some of the shows and sell. But on Morph Market we couldn't see any triple hets for Exantic, Clown and Pied. And the price that we looked at, so when you're deciding what to do, you've got to work out the viability of the clutch. So if you're producing triple hets with extra incomplete dominance, a triple het on its own as a non-simple triple het is about £358 at today's prices. So let's say you hit 8 of those at £300 each, that would give you a clutch value of about 2,500. And you'd want to hold on to 3 or 4 of those yourself. If you ended up getting in lessers and you ended up getting in the other genes that are in there, so you've got pastel lesser, that might be worth 350 to 400 depending on how many genetics are going in there. So I think we're thinking seriously about creating some triple hets with Mango. We know she's a reliable breeder, and we've got the double visual to go to her to create those triple hets. So even though they're not going to give us a massive production, they're going to give us the building blocks or the bridge to actually move into that triple recessive project. And you've got to start somewhere. In an ideal world, it'd be nice to have a visual clown with a double het, or a visual pied with a double het, or a visual Exantic with a double het. The reality is we're going to start somewhere, Jared. And if we were to produce several girls that were triple hets, what would be your next step, Jared, to reduce the odds down? Because a triple het to triple het, the odds are 1 out of 128, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Or is it 1 out of 64? Let me just get it right. So it would be triple het to triple het. So double het to double het's 1 out of 16. A triple het to a triple het would be 1 out of 16 times 1 out of 4. Maybe it's 1 out of 64. I need to check that. But if it's 1 out of 64, let's say it's 1 out of 64, and you had an 8 clutch, it would take 8 clutches to hit your triple. That's how hard it is.
What I would probably do is I would hopefully have a couple females. I'd stick the dad back to 2 of them to produce VPI Exantic pieds that are possible het clown. I'd then shed test those to try and get the one that I know is a het clown. But
yeah,
the gambler inside of me as well would stick one of the males to the female and do triple het to triple het and see what we get.
Yeah, and it would be amazing. And it does happen. People do hit the odds. But I think the reality is, I think building blocks all the time, and hopefully you get a male. So if you were to hit a male that was a double het, let's say you got a male that was a double het Exantic pied, and then you shed test it, because that would be 50% het for clown, say, and let's say it came back as a clown, then if you had, say one was a boy and one was a girl, if you put those two together, you get a chance of 1 out of 4 would then be a triple het. So there's another building block that needs to be occurring after this triple het. You start with triple hets and then you build on the next generation. But if you use the boys to start with, you will get a quicker route to getting your doubles with 1 het. So in actual fact, on the second stage, you really want to get a boy that you can then plug in, and as many girls as you can possibly get as well, because they'll take 3 years to get going, 2.5 to 3 years, and they'll be available for when you've got your double recessive with 1 het. So that's how it's done, and the more girls you get, the more your odds go in your favour. So there's an idea for Mango. Now we've got another girl down here called Bubbles. So let's have a look at Bubbles and see how she's doing. She is a lesser clown. And Bubbles has got 12mm follicles, so her follicles are big. Is she going into shed?
Yeah.
So what we thought there is we'll use our clown girls, Jared, for producing some more triple hets. So the next triple het that we're looking to achieve is the ultra male pied clown. And if we do that, Jared, let's use Colt as our boy. So we could put Colt to Bubbles, and she's got Enchi and lesser, so we'd end up with Enchi lesser triple hets. And then we'd hopefully get, let's say we were to get a few girls, grow the girls up, put the boy Colt back to them, and then you'll end up with double visuals with 50% chance of being clown. Now if we do a shed test and find out that the clowns are already there, then we can then grow those up and then go for the triple recessive with the Enchi and lesser in as well. So I think that could be a good call to get Enchi into that. It would be really nice, Jared. So there's another one there, and then the third one we've got is Calissa. So she is a lesser clown girl, gave us a lovely clutch, and we were thinking, what do we do there? Now we want to get a triple, the next triple het we want to get is a hypo, pied, and a clown. Hypo, clown, pieds is what we're looking at. And we've got a possible trade with another breeder that's going to give us a double het clown hypo boy as soon as we've grown him up and he's got to a certain size, and then we're going to trade him for another snake and maybe give him some extra cash, and we could use him at a later point, bring him up. But if Calissa could produce those triple hets for us, and there'll be a lesser triple het, I think we would put the boy that I was thinking of putting to was Archie. Now Archie is a fire hypo, and we think he's 100% het for pied. Now he's got a shed tag on here, which means as soon as he sheds out, which will be soon, see he's going to shed? We'll send that shed off, and if he proves to be pied, we'll put him into Calissa. And then we'll have to use shed testing again, but we've got the chance of producing a hypo, fire, lesser, het for clown, het for hypo, and also 50% het for pied. If he is het pied, that is, but we'll find out soon. So there you go, there's 3 projects which are triple hets that we're going to get into. And of course, once we've got those triple het projects, have you noticed that there are common denominators in all of them, which are clown pieds? Have you noticed that, Jared?
Yeah.
Now, once you've got your triple recessives, remember you're going to have a clown pied hypo, clown pied ultra male, clown pied exantic. You can then use your triple visuals to get your double visuals that they'll have 2 other hets, which will be het, hypo, and ultra male. So then you're getting to some really exciting stuff as you're building it forward. The odds are 1 in 16 to get your 4-way recessive. So once you start hitting your triples, it gets very interesting, Jared, and very powerful. And so the more visuals that you get, the easier it is to hit the odds as you go from 3 to 4 to 5. And my goal is a 6 visual recessive animal, which involves sunset, it involves hypo, clown, pied, ultra male, and desert ghost. So there's your 6 recessives that I want to get into this animal, and then I'll be sprinting in 5 or 6 appropriate dominant and incomplete dominants to get that ultimate animal, which could take me 10 years to get there, but the building blocks are already here. So I think that'll do it for today, Jared. Is there anything you wanted to ask at all, Jared?
Nope.
Thank you for watching. We'll probably do another video tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have the Viper bedding up and running. We'll let you know how that goes, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.